Y'all already know who it is, the big boss, hot boss, K-Po through the dope. He to talk this boxing. This is my last video I'm gonna make of the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence saga. Cause it's a saga, nigga. You know what I mean? Until this fight get made, which it will get made. You know what I mean? It's gonna get made, man. Ain't no other fight. This is the fight. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're gonna talk about, you know, Bud Crawford's inconsistencies. Because, like I say, man, Bud is a, I gotta start this off to please the Bud Crawford fans. Bud Crawford is an elite fighter, okay? He's elite. All right, dude cold in the mud, bro. Can switch hit. You know, can box, has a high IQ. All right? He got that dog in him. He's stubborn. But that may be his downfall against the Errol Spence. In the Errol Spence fight, is his stubbornness. You know, and I've explained why. Bud the type that he can be fighting a certain way, and that certain way may cause him to be getting hit too much. But in his mind, he like, I'm a dog. I'm going to beat him at this style. I'm not going to switch out of it. I'm going to fight him at this style. So let's just say he fighting southpaw against Errol, right? And Errol catching this boy. Let's just say that. Bud will fight that fight the whole time to prove that he's better than that fighter. I'm telling you, well, that's just how he is, bro. You know what I mean? Can he beat Errol Spence? Yeah. Do I see it happening? No. that's the difference. You know what I mean? We can differ in facts and opinion. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I feel like Errol Spence is too strong, it has too much power, and it's gonna break Bud down in ways that other fighters couldn't do. That's what Errol Spence does. Now, granted, it ain't gonna be easy. You know what I mean? I said that, and I keep saying that. And I think when people just hear me, when they hear me say Bud gonna lose to Errol, it's like, oh, they go Looney Tune. Oh, you hating on Bud. How am I hating on Bud, bro? I just stated my opinion. It don't mean I think Bud suck. And we got to get away from, because a fighter loses one fight, he's not a great fighter. If Bud loses to Errol Spence, he's still going to be great. He's still going to be elite. Same thing with Errol Spence lose to Bud Crawford, he's still going to be elite. Like, bro, when the best fight the best, and that's what we want from Bud Crawford. That's all I'm asking for. He's elite, so he needs to fight elite talent. That's what it is. But y'all want to try to make a case for his resume, and there's nothing to make. I had somebody try to tell me Mean Machine can beat everybody on PBC. I bust out laughing. I think I said something like, man, let's be real, cuz. I ain't even debate cuz on that. I just responded with LOL, let's be real, cuz. He didn't respond back. Because he know that was bull job. He couldn't even break that down. And like I say, I'm a fan of Bud Crawford. I've watched all Bud Crawford fights, even dating back to 140. You know what I'm saying? Dating back to 140, I've went back and watched some of his fights at 135. He fought Ricky Burns, all that. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen dang near all his fights. You know what I mean? I watched all his fight camps, you know, like the behind the scenes stuff. I've watched all of that. Dude is great. Nobody's, you know, but the problem is he's not fighting elite talent. So I'm not finna sit here and be like, oh yeah, he can beat Errol Spence. Because yeah. And like I say, people who watch boxing, who even participate in boxing can tell you, now we may differ in opinion as far as the outcome of the fight, but they gonna tell you this fight gonna be close. The outcome may be different. The outcome may be like, hey, I still got Bud winning. You know what I mean? Some people say they got Errol winning. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a close, competitive fight. That's just what it is. Now, the whole thing about Errol Spence ducking, we're not even going to get into that because we know the real. That, like I say, his energy don't even match that, bro. And I hate to keep having to go over this dude's resume. We'll even use the fight that everybody seems to try to use to discredit this man. The Mikey Garcia fight. Okay? They say Errol Spence couldn't even stop a 135-pounder. And, you know, which he wasn't a 135-pounder. He fought at 140 twice before he fought Errol Spence. All right? But let's entertain that. Let's just say, you know, the Mikey Garcia thing, right? Errol Spence was not even the favorite to beat Mikey Garcia. Everybody had Mikey Garcia beating Errol Spence. They said Errol Spence was basic. Notice, these are the things they saying now about Errol Spence. They say Errol Spence is basic. He up and down, no side effects, just like Floyd say, right? They said Errol is basic. He don't do nothing good. You know what I mean? That's what they saying. And what happened to Mikey Garcia? That's all I need to say. They say, oh, he didn't stop him. He didn't knock him out cold and blah, blah, blah. Mikey Garcia at that time was an elite fighter fighting at 140. Mikey Garcia beat the brakes off Adrian Broner, Robert Easter. He had some names. You know, he knocked off some people. You know what I mean? At that time, Mikey Garcia was you know, an elite fighter in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Until he fought Errol Spence. He ran it, and his family warned him about fighting. They were like, hey, and he called out Errol. Kind of like what Bud Crawford doing right now. And you notice, Errol wasn't even talking that much either against Mikey Garcia. He didn't really talk that much. He didn't say, oh man, I'm gonna knock out Mikey Garcia. He wasn't saying nothing. Until the fight was signed. Even when the fight was signed, I mean, they'll ask him like little snippets here and there, like, hey, you know, what you gonna do to Mikey Garcia? He said, I'm out boxing. Since they say I'm nothing but a kung fu fighter, you know, I don't basically have no IQ, nothing. I'm just a guy who come forward and throw punches. I'm gonna show you that I have boxing skill, and he showed that in that fight. You get what I mean? Like, that's just the truth. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. How's Errol Spence ducking when he fought fights that he wasn't favored to win and that he could potentially lose? He fought Chris Algieri, another fight that a lot of people discredited Errol Spence for, tried to use as a discredit. He fought Chris Algieri. He wasn't even favored to beat Chris Algieri. Why? Because around that time, Chris Algieri had shared the ring with Manny Pacquiao, Ruslan Provatnikov, and he been knocked down, but he couldn't be knocked out. I think Chris Algieri has wins over Ruslan Provatnikov, but he lost to Pacquiao. Okay, but he's been in there with Pac-Man. Errol got in there with him and beat the brakes off that man. Stopped him. Was the first person to stop Chris Algieri, right? Was the first person to stop that man. All right, Errol get in there with Kell Brook. Most people said that Kell was going to destroy Errol Spence. He wasn't even favored to win that fight. He fought Kell Brook in his hometown. And early on, it looked like Kell Brook was going to run away with that fight. He was giving Errol blues. Errol figured him out, stopped him. See, they want to try to, Kell Brook was already damaged goods. How? It wasn't even the same eye. It was the other eye that got broken. It wasn't even the same eye. And Kell Brook, like I said, he was beating Triple G when he chose that stupid fight to go up to fight Triple G. Because he was trying to avoid Errol Spence. So, man, we can go on and on, man. The Sean Porter fight. People say, oh, Terrence Crawford beat Sean Porter more impressively than Errol Spence. I think it's about the same as pertains to that. But you can't use triangle theories. Because if you want to just use triangle theories, Floyd Mayweather fought Oscar De La Hoya, right? And he won by majority decision. Pacquiao fought Oscar De La Hoya and stopped Oscar De La Hoya. What happened when Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao? Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait. Floyd beat the brakes off of that man. So I'm not trying to hear none of that stuff, bro. I'm not trying to hear it, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you can't use triangle theories for the argument. Now, you look at Bud's resume. Bud, when he moved up, he fought Jeff Horn. In which Bomac, let's stop right here, bookmark. Bomac, on record, when he was asked, hey, why did y'all decide to go the WBO route? Y'all were undisputed at 140, which means y'all could have went any way y'all wanted to get a belt at 47. What Bomac said was it was the easier way to get a belt. Something they trying to condemn Errol Spence on, stuff that y'all trying to say Errol Spence is wrong for. Bomac came out and said, hey, it's the easier way for us to make this, for us to get a belt. It was an easier fight to make because Jeff Horn was working with Top Rank at that time. So I pose this question. I want y'all to answer this in the comment section. If Top Rank had, let's say Bud has the WBA belt, right? Let's say Me Machine had the WBC belt. Let's say Jose Benavidez had the WBO belt. Or no, the WBA belt. Okay? And Bud has the WBO belt. And only belt that's on PBC side is the IBF belt. Let's just say that hypothetically. Let's use this as an example. You're telling me that Top Rank and Bud Crawford are going to say, F them belts, give me the Errol Spence fight. When they just basically said, hey, we fought Jeff Horn because it was an easier fight to make. No, Bud going to fight all them dudes and get that belt from all of them. He ain't gonna be looking at no damn Errol Spence. He ain't gonna look at Errol until he get all them other belts. And then he'll look to. So basically, that whole side of the street talk, he would have did the same thing Errol Spence doing. He would have fought every fighter on his promotional company that had a belt and would have got the belts from them and then made the fight with Errol Spence. It ain't ducking. It's called business. If he's sitting there looking at all these dudes on my promotional company have a belt, he basically answered that question. That's why I don't understand how he trying to push this whole Errol Spence ducking thing, because it's like, bro, you basically just came out and said you did the same thing. He could have went the IBF route. He could have said, damn that, I want to become the #1 mandatory for the IBF belt. I want to fight Errol Spence. He could have did that. But he went up and got the WBO belt because that was an easier fight to make, and that was an easier fight that he knew he could win. We all knew he was finna beat the... I already knew that. I knew that. Once they said, hey, once I started hearing rumors about Terrence Bud Crawford versus Jeff Horn, I said, this boy finna destroy this man. I already knew that. And that's exactly what happened. He went up there, beat the brakes off Jeff Horn. It was bad. What Jeff Horn at now? Don't worry, I'll wait. Where he at? So I'm not trying to hear that, bro. Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. He's shown that. At 47, he got all stoppages. Now, and that may be him acclimating to the weight of 47. You get what I mean? He may be acclimating to the weight better. Because when he was at 35 and 40, he may have been cutting too much weight. So what happens is when you do that, you lose power. So that may have been the case with him at 35 and 40. Now he's at 47. He's able to be comfortable, and he's not able to drain himself to make a certain weight, so he's going to be more explosive, more powerful. We get that. You know what I mean? That may be the case for Errol. You know what I mean? But we ain't here to make no excuses. You know what I'm saying? But when you fight elite talent, you're not going to be able to stop everybody. Not saying that because you fight elite talent, you can't stop somebody. You know what I mean? You can stop. I mean, look at, Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. Although that's the heavyweight division, it's not really like a division to where, like, it's dealing with a lot of skilled fighters. You know what I mean? And I ain't, like I said, I'm not hating, but, the heavyweight division is not a division where you look at and be like, man, these boys, man, they skilled. You know what I mean? It's not one of the divisions. I mean, you see it in Tyson Fury. You know he got skill, but it's just, it's different. In the lower divisions, you're going to see people display their skills more than at the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? That's why Tyson Fury is rare. But, like I say, man, Terrence Crawford does have all knockouts. He's one of the greatest finishers in boxing. Okay? But as you go up against a known killer like Errol Spence, I'm telling you, I'm not telling you this, in my opinion, I'm not telling you this just to be talking. I'm telling you this because Errol Spence does this. Okay? When I say Terrence Crawford has not fought a fighter like Errol Spence, it doesn't mean that, Terrence Crawford suck. That's not what it means. What it means is when you fight a fighter like Errol Spence goes to your body. Okay? Errol Spence is very fundamentally, technically sound. He don't make too many mistakes. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. The dude works behind the jab, and he sets everything up behind the jab. Everything is behind the jab. Jab, jab, body shot. Jab, jab. He gonna throw a looping left hook to the head. He gonna do stuff like that. Everything's off the jab. And he just masters distance. The thing with Bud is, what may get to his head is he been knocking out everybody. So he may sit in there and think, man, I can knock this dude out. And you're supposed to think like that as a fighter. You know what I mean? What he's doing right now, he's supposed to do that. Regardless of if Errol Spence was talking back or not. He's supposed to do that. We're going to talk about that, Errol Spence not talking too. But he's supposed to do that. He's supposed to be confident in himself. That's what he's supposed to do. The thing is people are misconstruing, they just misconstruing everything. Like I said, Errol Spence is going to work behind the jab, body shot, break this dude down. All that moving and all that stuff, Errol Spence going to cut the ring off. I'm not saying that Bud ain't going to have no success. I've said this. It's going to be an entirely, completely close fight. Just like the Sean Porter fight was. It was close. It wasn't no landslide like Bud was winning all the rounds. It was a close fight. You know what I mean? It was a close fight. Bud got Sean Porter out of there. That shows his greatness. We ain't making no excuses. There's some people who are making excuses. I've heard some people say, Porter was already over the hill. He wasn't already. We ain't gonna do that. I don't do that. You know what I mean? We don't make excuses. You know what I mean? Bud went in there. He stopped Sean Porter. Period. That's facts. You know what I mean? Like I said, I had Porter up one round. Andre Wood had Porter up. You feel what I'm saying? And that's Terrence Crawford homeboy. Like I said, it was pretty quiet in that stadium. But at the end of the day, you know, when you look at the official scorecards, when I went back and looked at them, Bud was up. You know what I mean? Bud was up 1 or 2 rounds, which I don't understand how that happened, but hey, it is what it is. So like I say, Errol and Bud fight gonna happen. In my opinion, I feel like Errol Spence will beat Terrence Crawford. He's different. Now, about the talking, I don't know if it's a culture thing. You know what I mean? What I mean by culture thing is certain areas, for example, in the Midwest, where Bud is from, the Midwest area, I got a homeboy who from the Midwest, and he say, I mean, we wouldn't even talk about boxing. We were just talking. And he said, man, the Midwest, he was like, man, we talk a lot. We talk a lot. We're going to talk, and then we're going to tell you what we're going to do to you. And, you know, we look at that as like, man, we gangster. We, you know, like we letting you know what it is. You know? Where I'm from Texas. And some parts of Texas, we don't do no talking. You know what I mean? Like, where we talking from? Somebody say something, that's a bet. I got you. You know what I mean? Especially if it's real beef. No, what we talking for? Ain't nothing to talk about. No, you know, ain't no real beef. I talk to you all day. But if it's not real, well, you know, if it's real, then what are we talking for? That's what Errol Spence on. He ain't like that type of dude that be talking. You know, this Errol Spence don't be doing a lot of talking. You know what I mean? Like, he don't do that. That's not who he is. He don't do a lot of talking. You know what I'm saying? He don't do the social media banter. He don't do none of that stuff. The dude barely posts stuff on social media. He may post every now and then and say, I'm big fish. He may post every now and then and show him in the gym. But majority of the time, if he posts something, it's him with his kids. You know what I'm saying? Him hanging with his friends. Or if he got a fight, he'll show the little banner or the little banner for the fight. That's it. Other than that, he ain't really posting too much. He working, just like he is right now. So I don't really take Errol Spence not talking as a sign of, oh, he's scared. And like I said, that whole talk about he's scared, I don't believe in none of that. Because like I said, he's fought fights he wasn't favored to win. Let that sink in. A lot of Errol Spence fights that he have on his resume, he wasn't the favorite. He was supposed to lose. They looked at him, so man, he's basic. Then he get in there and it's quiet in the stadium. They looking like, oh snap, this boy here. Them body shots. Because that's what they say, man. He's basic. Go back and watch a lot of these fights. You know, before the fights even happen, what these fighters be saying about him. Man, he basic. Now you got real boxing fans, they like, man, that boy, he different, man. He's a different fighter. He's different. Why do you think Adrian Broner fooled with him? Why do you think Floyd fooled with him? Man, and he sparred them dudes. He sparred Adrian Broner back in Adrian Broner's prime. Now, granted, sparring is different than a real fight. But just like Tim Bradley sparred Bud and was like, hey, you not no sparring partner? You know talent when you see it. You know talent when you see it, bro. But this whole banter about Errol Spence ducking and, you know, he's scared and that ain't, I mean, like I say, that ain't the wave. It's nothing to really discuss, bro. Like, I'm serious. I don't even know why this is even to talk about this, but I had to bring this up because Errol Spence energy been the same. I'm going to collect these belts on the PBC side, and then I fight Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford then said, I want to fight Errol. Then he said, I don't want to fight Errol. Then he said, I do want to fight Errol. Then he said, I'm not worried about Errol Spence. Don't talk to me about him. I don't need him. Then he comes back and says, I want to fight Errol Spence. He's scared. He ducking me. Then he says, oh, I don't need Errol Spence. Again, I don't need him. But then he on the ocean talking about where the big fish at. Where's Errol Spence? His team is calling him out. The dude, I don't know his name. I think his name Bernie or something like that. I don't, him, Bomac, all of them. It's just like y'all calling them out, but y'all not being consistent. That's the thing. Now, granted, Bud may get in there with Errol, and he might beat the brakes off Errol Spence. It may not even be a close fight. I'm not gonna lose no sleep over that. That's the thing. The difference between me and a lot of y'all diehard Bud Crawford fans is I'm a fan of boxing. So Bud get in there and he beat Errol Spence, I'm gonna still be able to sleep at night because it's good for boxing. You know what I mean? That shows Bud's true skill. For me, I'm talking me personally, is see Bud in there with elite talent. So if he get in there with Errol Spence and he beat the brakes off Errol Spence, hey man, that's good for boxing. If Errol Spence get in there and he beat the brakes off Terrence Crawford, it proves my point. But it's good for boxing. This ain't personal for me. This ain't one of them situations where it's like, oh man, I don't care. Neither one of these fighters pay my rent. I'm not friends with either one of these fighters. None of that. I'm a fan of boxing first. And I'm a fan of seeing elite fighters fight each other. And keep holding them to that standard. That's what it's about for me. We don't do that for every fighter. We sit here and we got fighters that we personally like. And we ride for them no matter what. No. I like Errol Spence. But if Errol Spence wasn't living up to something, I'm the type of dude, man, I'm gonna be like, hey, Errol Spence, that's one of my favorite fighters, but he ain't doing what he's supposed to do. I'm gonna say that. But Errol Spence fought Sean Porter, okay? Got in a car accident, came back, fought Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia's 2 losses that he had were contested losses. All right, we got to deal with facts. Now, I thought Danny lost to Lamont Peterson, and there's another fight I thought he lost to at 140. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they gave him a nod on that. We got to deal with reality. But his 2 losses against Sean Porter and Keith Thurman, you could argue he won those fights, right? Against Errol Spence, there was no argument. This dude came off an accident, came in there and beat the brakes off this boy. Made Danny look crazy. Something I never thought I would see. I was concerned when Errol Spence was like, I'll fight Danny Garcia. I was like, man, I don't know about that, bro. You need to take a tune-up or something. That boy went in there and destroyed that boy. And he said he was 80%. So, just imagine what Errol would do if he was 100%. That would have been a statement. You see what I'm saying? If he was to be able to stop Danny Garcia. Was about to fight Pacquiao. He was supposed to fight Ugas, but then Pacquiao was like, I want to fight you. He said, bet. I'll fight Pacquiao. That's the name of my legacy. You know what I mean? But tears his retina. In which he was the underdog in that fight. Everybody had Pacquiao beaten. They were making videos. I guess there was some videos that leaked of Errol Spence getting so-called beat up in sparring. And they were talking about Pacquiao finna stop Errol Spence. Pacquiao finna get in and out on Errol, and he gonna stop. Errol Spence was the underdog in that fight. Against like a 40-year-old Pacquiao. Now, granted, Ugas went in there and beat the brakes off of Pacquiao. But just imagine what Errol would have did to him with that same game plan. The same game plan. So, man, look, I say this, man. It's going to be a good fight. These are 2 elite fighters. This is one of them things where this is going to be I think this gonna be, whenever they do fight, it's gonna be fight of the year. I do think that. I think it's gonna be fireworks. I think nobody's gonna try to. If Errol Spence land a big shot, Bud gonna land a big shot. I just think Errol Spence gonna wear him down. That's what I think, and stop him. That's what I feel like. I feel like late, Bud gonna get caught with something. Maybe a short hook or something like that. Ain't gonna get dropped. And then with Errol going to the body and slowing down, Bud ain't gonna be able to move like he want to. That's what I see. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like I said, we don't run for no smoke. I be trying to tell y'all, boy, man, y'all don't be listening. See, y'all be trying to come in the comment section. Y'all say stuff thinking, oh, he ain't gonna. I'm not one of them channels that don't respond. I respond to everything. You know what I'm saying? We can talk boxing. We can talk boxing all day. But some of y'all come in and y'all make it personal. When you make it personal, I get personal. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. We don't run for no smoke. You know what I mean? So, y'all let me know what y'all think. Big Boss gone.